Our next reader is really into the rapper Pitbull, aka Mr. Worldwide, who opened his hit single Toma with the immortal hook, which I translate, "Hey crazy girl, come over here. Hey crazy girl, come over here. Move it without stopping." She was stood up once at a dive bar, or the dive bar. There she waited for 2 hours, sadly pondering the only reasonable excuse that he'd been kidnapped. Tragically, he'd just been held up gambling at the Silver Sevens. She ended the exchange by texting, "Fuck you, Lance." A hopeless romantic. Her favorite book is The Hunger Games because she'd like for her and her lover to be in danger of slaughter at the hands of children and/or a tyrannical government in order to really figure out how they feel about one another. Please welcome second-year fiction writer Kate Shapiro.
Hi. So I'm going to read an excerpt from my novel. So my novel is about a girl whose brother died in a mass shooting, and she's kind of reeling from that. And she hasn't been home in a long time, so this is a scene where she sees her roommates for the first time in a while and fights about roommate stuff. "We need to talk about the notes," Damon says. I lean over their shoulder and look at the pink note closest to me. "One death is a tragedy, 1 million deaths is a statistic. Joseph Stalin." "Yeah, he allegedly said that to Churchill during World War II when discussing a possible second front into France," I say. Damon ignores me. "Ocean found this on his Dave Matthews Band box set and was very upset." "Why?" "Because it's a quote rationalizing genocide and Ocean loves Dave Matthews Band." Damon squeezes a slimy carrot between their fingers. "It's just a Post-it note," I say. "Everyone uses them." People in this house use Post-it notes for everything. Everything in the fridge was clearly marked, even individual beers, and if something needed to be dusted or cleaned, it was marked with a Post-it note with someone's name and "Clean this now, please." Just last week, there was a Post-it on my door from one of the conceptual artists downstairs that said, "Audrey, I know you use my face cream and I find it incredibly disrespectful. Please place a new tube of face cream in the bathroom by Friday at 11:59 p.m. Thanks, Kennedy. Kennedy has never mentioned this in person, though I've seen her many times since then. I figure if this is how things will be, then I should be able to teach them something about 20th century Russian history. Damon points at another note. Oops. "Stalin's wife went to school and she heard about a bunch of purges, and he was like, 'Nah, baby, who told you that?' And he then had all her friends from school executed." "Do you see what I mean?" Damon says. "Not really," I reply. "I thought it would be funny." "Why?" Damon says, in utter disbelief, and eats another carrot. "Because the whole Post-it note thing is getting a little out of control," I say. I motion towards the chore board. That used to be a schedule of who cleaned the bathroom, but was now covered with passive-aggressive messages about teapots and the mysterious real bacon that appeared in the vegan fridge. "We all have different schedules here, Audrey." Damon is still chewing the carrot. "But there are things we need to communicate, and the Post-it note system works." Damon puts the lid back onto the hummus and swallows the rest of the carrot. My phone rings and I look at it. It's another block number. I stare at it for a long beat until I swipe my finger across the surface of the phone to ignore the call. I return my attention to Damon, but they've stood up dramatically and crossed to the stage left counter while I was looking at my phone. They hunch over the counter with their hands on the marble, like they're trying to keep themselves from spontaneously combusting. "I can't believe you just did that while we're talking." I try to argue with them, but it's happening again. I've been getting into these states where, well, I guess I dissociate. I depersonalize floating somewhere in the void, and there are voices, not like voices telling me to do anything, more like voices from a city street, ambient noise, and they get louder as reality slowly recedes. I take a deep breath and focus on the Post-it notes until it's over. Joseph Stalin was 5'4". His left arm was shorter than his right due to an accident when he was a child, which is why he would hide it in official portraits. He was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, twice. His son was captured by the Nazis, and he refused to pay the ransom, so his son died in prison. His wife killed herself after he flicked a cigarette butt at her at a party. Frank Lloyd Wright's widow thought that Stalin's daughter Svetlana was the spiritual reincarnation of her own daughter who died. Audrey, hello. Damon has materialized again and is waving their hand in front of my face. Hello, yes, I say gratefully as reality emerges. Cut it out with the Post-its. Frankly, it's triggering. I mean, honestly. Damon points to a Post-it note in the far right corner that looks like it has been crumpled up already and then smoothed out for this presentation. After Stalin's son failed to kill himself, Stalin said, he can't even shoot straight. You're upsetting everyone in the house. Please use the Post-it note protocol. Damon posted at a newly made instructional document entitled House Communication Standard Operating Procedure. It has been laminated and is hanging next to the fridge. Audrey, I'm going to be real with you. It's not just this. You come home late at night, drink 4 beers, and then leave them out for other people to clean up. You don't refrigerate the peanut butter, even though we keep asking you to, and you look like shit. You're acting like the typical white privileged brat, like we're all your servants, and to be honest, if you keep acting like this, we're kicking you out. We've all talked about it, and we all agree. I look over and see Ocean and Kennedy peeking around the corner from the stairs to the basement. They duck when they see my gaze. Okay, dude, I'm sorry, listen. I look in my bag to see if I have fruit to give out, anything really, to make this better. Dude, Damon says. Uh-oh. Dude? Oh, fuck, I say and bow my head. I can't believe that you misgendered me during this conversation. Damon is heaving now. I'm worried they're gonna pop a vein in their eye like my sister Lydia did when she was studying for the SATs. Damon, I say, gathering the Post-its, I'm trying to talk to you about respect and you misgendered me. This is the only time I've ever misgendered Damon, and I feel equal and conflicting emotions. A, I feel very, very bad for misgendering them. I do think it's important to respect people's identities. And B, give me a fucking break. I clean up after you, and you gender me male? Are you fucking kidding me? Damon says. I'll throw these away, I say, filling my arms with Post-it notes. I deposited Brent into your account. I will cut it out with the peanut butter. I'm so sorry. It's just, there's a lot going on. I have to escape. I feel like I'm about to start crying, and if I start crying, I may have to start explaining things. I leave Damon in the kitchen fuming. I know that if I come back out in 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, they will be able to pick up right where we left off, and after a few hours of arguing, we'll be okay again. Thank you.